Drug dealers are marketing ethically sourced cocaine called woke coke. A lady grabbed a tiger's testicles at the zoo for a photo, and a man found 160 bowling balls underneath his home. How did they get there? These are the weird stories for Monday on Weird AF News, your only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I record inside a very hot closet, but I'm definitely hydrated, guys. I'm very hydrated off this Red Bull. Woke coke. Drug dealers are now marketing ethically sourced cocaine. Because when you do your cocaine, you want to have that additional feeling that it's being ethically sourced. You don't want to be giving your money to those mean drug lords down in South America. You want some locally grown cocaine. Support your local community, your local farmers. This story is out of, the UK? Brits looking to ease their conscience over their involvement in bloody drug wars overseas are now being targeted by cynical drug dealers selling what they claim is ethically sourced cocaine. I want to know what ethically sourced really means. Users have revealed a very high demand for the so-called woke coke at very posh dinner parties across the UK. Drug policy expert Neil Woods told the media, "I have been shown advertisements for environmentally friendly sniff, but it's nothing but a very clever marketing ploy." Neil revealed that users were paying through the nose for this gimmick. Pun intended. "At £200 a gram, I call it the woke coke con." Woods is arguing there's just no way that you can produce environmentally friendly or ethically sourced cocaine. This was another way to fuel the obscene amount of money being generated by the cocaine trade in the UK, which rakes in about £5 billion annually. That's so much money. Colombian aid worker Bibiana Velota told the media that the claims were nonsense. "I've never heard of woke coke, but I can tell you, no one in Colombia produces cocaine ethically, I can tell you that." Yeah, we know. This is why we think it's a joke, Bibiana. Nobody's being fooled by the woke coke. "The trade inevitably involves bloodshed, as you know, the destabilization of communities, an appalling cycle of violence. If demand goes up, so does production, and the cycle of destruction continues. What you call fair trade cocaine is only going to bring more greed and more bloodshed." But people are claiming that the woke coke is legit. Former soap actress Davina Taylor appeared on some show. She revealed celebrities were hoovering up the story and the marching powder. She claimed, "In Chiswick, everyone's got woke coke. It's from sustainable sources in South America." Yes. They're like, "Hi, darling, I've got woke coke. It's all PC, £200 a gram." They've got their vegan food, their organic wine, and their woke coke. And a spliff. A spliff. Free-range spliffing. They say, "No, it's fine. It's fine. I know it's sustainable. We're actually putting back into the countryside." But when you look at all this hypocrisy, it's really bullshit. It is. I love how she just called bullshit. Well, she calls it bullshit. Therefore, I don't really have to. It's common sense. You guys know you don't get your cocaine from an ethical source. Heads are rolling in the making of this powder and other illicit narcotics as well. There's no enlightened Molly going on out there. It's just not happening. You're not going to get your spiritual meth. Okay, there's no free range crack. Gluten-free. Insert hardcore drug. Yeah, these things, well, when they're made illegal, it creates an underground market, and therefore it'll never be ethically sourced. It won't be ethically sourced until you make it legal, as they're doing and have done with marijuana. Until then, you create a black market, and with that comes crime syndicates, the destruction of communities. You know all that hullabaloo. But we can dream of a time eventually when we might have some ethically sourced hard drugs. That way, after an entire weekend where we've lost all our money and made some bad decisions, we can say to ourselves, you know what, though? At least it was locally grown. I'm supporting local farmers. A woman grabs a tiger's testicles as she poses for a photo at the zoo. How are these ladies getting into the exhibits? Just jumping the fence to grab the testes. You recall the lady who jumped the fence to twerk next to a lion? This is dangerous stuff, guys. Not worth the photo, in my opinion. Let's get some more information. A woman posed for a selfie at a zoo while grabbing hold of a tiger's nuts. Yeah, I didn't think you could do that, but apparently you can. The woman visited the Tiger Kingdom Zoo in Chiang Mai, northern Thailand, where, like many other tourists, she posed for selfies with the animals. Is this one of those situations where they're all drugged up? In photos and videos shot at the zoo, the lady can be seen smiling into the camera and cuddling into one of the very docile tigers who seems completely unbothered by her being there. Yeah, unbothered because it's drugged up. However, unlike the other tourists on the scene, this lady reached into the big cat's enclosure and cupped its testicles before taking a photo. She cupped the little tiger's ballsies. After the woman, who has been named as... I cannot pronounce this. Let me give it a try. Warashaya Akarachaya Pas. I think I nailed it. So Warashaya shared the photos online and was, of course, met with a backlash from animal lovers who accused her of humiliating the tiger, putting herself at risk from the big cat attacking. She humiliated the tiger. Oh, as soon as that tiger sees its balls on Instagram, it's going to be very upset. Humiliation time. All the other tigers are going to laugh. Oh, how about it, Simba? We saw your nuts on IG and TikTok. I don't know. One person wrote, "This is so rude. The tiger did not allow you to touch its privates. You have no right to do it. No right." So rude. Yeah, as if the tiger is going to ever give consent at any moment. You should have asked the tiger ahead of time for consent to touch its nuts. I'm looking at tiger balls right now. They're pretty large. Yeah, I'm impressed. This is the photo of the lady holding the tiger's balls. I'll post it on the Patreon and Facebook account, all that crap. If you got, unless you don't, you got no interest in seeing a photo of a woman grabbing a tiger's nuts and taking a selfie, you probably have better things to do in your life, I'd imagine. It says here, while a second person considered the safety aspect, responding, "This is dangerous. If the tiger had reacted angrily, it could have attacked you. It could have attacked." Thanks, Captain Obvious. If the tiger got angry, it could have attacked you. Wow, I didn't see that coming. This person went to private school, clearly. Others felt very sorry for the animal. And this individual that posted the photo, she has since attempted to defend herself and says she's an animal lover. Ooh, she really is an animal. She's such an animal lover that she gets close up to the testes. It says here, she's an animal lover, which might not be the best wording under the circumstances. Tiger Kingdom head of zookeepers Piram Chantama said the staff are very trained and prepared to ensure the animals and the guests are very safe. He said the tourists were monitored while at the zoo to ensure their photos were done in a safe way for both themselves and the animals. He was quoted as saying, "We do not allow tourists to grab the tiger's testicles, but they are allowed to touch any part of the animal's body as long as our specialists are present. Just not the testicles. Can't be touching testicles. We don't even let our specialists touch the testicles because, that could upset an animal. Next thing you know, it's going to rip your face off, rub its nuts on your dead carcass. That can happen. From now on, we're going to make sure that no visitors will ever going to be able to touch this part of a tiger's body again. We're even going to make signs." I got myself a nice graphic artist. It's my nephew, but I saw him doing a photo of a tiger recently. Very realistic nuts on that tiger. So I asked my nephew, "Can you make a poster that we will then redistribute all over the zoo? I want a poster of the tiger with its nuts, and I want a line through the nuts. Off limits. Can't touch a tiger's testicles. In fact, we're thinking about making a rule where you can't touch the other animal's testicles as well, because we got a giraffe with some pretty low-hanging testicles that one could reach. So we got to buckle down at this zoo. No touching the testicles. I'm going to make sure everybody knows about this. You can touch the tiger's fangs and claws. That's okay. Just not the testicles. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A man finds 160 bowling balls underneath his home. A Michigan man made a striking discovery under his house when he went to demolish the back stairs. He found 160 bowling balls. David Olson, age 33, said he found one ball buried in the sand behind cinder blocks this month and continued finding more and more balls over the following days. Here's a quote from David. I was actually a little happy about that because it's a little easier to roll bowling balls out of the way when you're doing demolition than to, move sand and rocks and all that. I figure this is much easier. David believes there are even more bowling balls under his home. He contacted the maker of the bowling balls, Brunswick Bowling Products, which had a bowling ball plant in the area, said that they were made in the 1950s. He said former employees contacted him and told him the workers used to take scrapped bowling balls to use as an alternative to gravel or sand. Oh, that's fascinating. So in the construction of various homes in the area, they may have integrated bowling balls that were scrapped. Maybe they weren't up to par, weren't able to be used, professionally. So they're like, hey, let's use it to build shit. I'm surprised this is the only guy that's found bowling balls under the home. It says here that Brunswick, the bowling ball plant, shut down in 2006. The owner of the home, Olson, said many of the balls aren't in very good shape. They don't have finger holes and aren't very polished. Yeah, that would explain why they're there. He's donated some of these balls and plans to give some to the Muskegon Heritage Museum, which is in the area. He'll use the rest for landscaping or to make sculptures. Ooh, this guy's getting creative with his balls. Bowling balls. We got a lot of ball stories in this one. I think this guy stumbled onto a little money-making scheme here. If he uses these bowling balls for sculptures, puts them in his yard, creates a bowling ball sculpture park, and charges admission, maybe sells tacos in the park. I once went to this, what I can only describe as a former junkyard. An artist used scrap metal and all sorts of discarded debris to create amazing sculptures, basically out of trash and junk. And then he opened up a little taco stand in the center of it, and then this taco stand just blew up. This place is in Riverside, California. Can't remember the name of it. First of all, the sculpture is made out of bicycle parts and fans and just all kinds of detritus, as you can imagine, that you would discover in a junkyard. Like a sculpture of a robot made out of tires that's 25 feet high, this kind of stuff. It's fascinating. It's amazing. This guy's making so much money off his taco stand in the middle of this trashy sculpture park that at one time was a junkyard. I mean, there's just ways you can flip these things. That's all I'm saying. Hello, my attractive, loyal listeners. Thanks again for coming with me on this journey of weird news all around the world. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you enjoyed the Florida Fridays stories. And thanks to everyone who sent me articles. Appreciate that. Thanks to everyone who sent me emails over the weekend. Appreciate you all. I got a review on Amazon. Let's read this. This is by someone with just the initial K. The title is Morning Traffic is Funnier Than This Guy. Don't waste your time. He gave me 1 star. 1 star. Didn't write much. I would have loved to have had more feedback than this. Just wrote not funny. That was it. The morning traffic is funnier than me as well. So I would have never thought morning traffic could be funnier than me. I guess in some places the traffic is hilarious. Not where I live, the traffic isn't hilarious at all. I'm definitely funnier than the morning traffic in Los Angeles because the morning traffic in Los Angeles is debilitating on the soul. I'd like to think that I'm not debilitating on the soul, but maybe I am. Maybe I am. Anyways, appreciate the feedback, Kay. Thanks for giving the podcast a shot. It's not for everybody. If you guys would like to write a review, you can go to Amazon to do that. Many of you have Amazon accounts already because you're a human being, and I think you're born with an Amazon account now. Isn't that how it goes? So just look for Weird AF News and write a little review on there. Give me at least 3 stars if you could. That'd be much appreciated. Or you can also leave a review on iTunes, also known as Apple Podcasts. You might even have that app on your phone. Just open that up, bring up Weird AF News, give me some stars, write a nice review. Please say I'm funnier than morning traffic. At least say that, okay? Please say I'm funnier than a nosebleed. Please. And if you'd like to join the Patreon, which you might want to, because I put like 5 or 6 pretty weird things in there this morning. And 2 of them are, I was a guest on podcasts in the past week, and so I put a link to those in there. Like their YouTube videos of the podcast where I was interviewed by these very, very nice individuals who have a very respectable show. So I put those on there as well. So there's some good content in the Patreon is what I'm trying to say to entice you to check it out. Go to patreon.com/weirdafnews or go to weirdafnews.com and click on the link to join the Patreon. Support the show. Get some extra content in your life. Once again, thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.